Welcome back to the Morning Blend. This is, of course, a very difficult time. We are all worried about our health and our jobs. And for small businesses, it's extremely scary. This is our Small Business Monday segment with Vertz Marketing. Tim Vertz has options to help you survive. He joins us from, is it your office or your home? I can't tell there, Tim.
I'm in between my parts, yeah, as we all need to.
Yes, absolutely. Staying a safe distance. Well, it's great to see you on this Monday.
You too. Thank you, Molly.
Absolutely. Let's talk first about this program. It's called the Paycheck Protection Program. How does it work and how can people take advantage of it?
Sure. So certainly a lot of small business owners are going to know about this. This went live Friday at midnight. It was kind of a disaster when this went live. The Treasury Department released final guidance to banks literally late Thursday night, and banks were scrambling to figure out how to basically get businesses their money. So my first advice is to businesses is be nice to the banks. They're doing the absolute best they can. There were very few banks that were able to even take applications on Friday. They were still getting questions answered by the Small Business Administration and the Treasury Department. A lot of banks started getting that figured out later and later in the day. And we saw local banks like Port Washington State Bank, they were taking applications on Friday into Saturday. Regional banks like Associated Bank, headquartered in Green Bay, they were working all weekend to take applications. So I think it's starting to get smoothed over. Basically, how it works is a business is going to look at their average payroll for the last 12 months. They're going to take 1 month's worth of payroll. They're going to multiply it by 2.5, and that's what the federal government will give you as a convertible grant. So with that money, basically, as long as you spend that on payroll and keep your people paid, the government's going to forgive that, and you're not going to have to pay that back to the government.
See, that's incredible. As you said, you're going to document this, give it to your bank in June, then
Right.
up to 100% of the money you receive will be turned into a grant, as you mentioned, and then forgiven with no payback.
Right. So if a company is interested in this, apply for it. Likely the money's going to run out on this. So It's
Okay.
important that you apply now and keep very good records on what you're doing.
Great advice. What about the economic injury disaster loan?
Okay, so unfortunately, this is a program that is in utter chaos right now. And the Treasury Department and the Small Business Administration, they need to provide some answers and be very transparent about it. What it's supposed to be is you apply for this loan, and what's codified into law is the first $10,000 you receive is actually a grant. This is part of the CARES Act that was signed into law a week ago Friday. Virtually every company that we've seen that has applied for this, nobody's gotten their grant yet. They're supposed to get their grant according to federal law within 3 days. So companies that applied to us, let's say a week ago last Sunday, haven't received anything. They're not getting any answers from the SBA. So the SBA, they need to step up and explain what's going on. Now, the question, you're funded probably, but you're not going to calm any small businesses down by just ignoring the problem. You got to be honest and say what's going on.
Okay. And Tim, there's so much of what we talk about the federal government is doing. Is there something that the state can do?
Yeah, there are a couple programs the states are doing. It's very hard to qualify right now, which has been one of the complaints that I've had, trying to help small businesses. The state really needs to step up. What I'm being told this week is that there are some legislators in the assembly. They're going to be putting plans together on how they're going to help small business, but they're not going to put those plans out until after the election tomorrow, which is fine. What we really need is we need to put the partisanship aside. We need the Republicans, we need the Democrats, we need the governor to all come together. I'm not really seeing any of that right now. Very much what I would like to do is for the governor and the legislature to put together Wisconsin Small Business Recovery Task Force. Because as we're all doing our part, we're all participating in the social distancing, we're all doing our part to make sure people are safe. Our businesses are getting crushed, and we need to start planning now about how we are going to help them so that when we can start reopening our businesses, that they're going to have the tools that they need to be successful and to continue on. And that planning really needs to start now. So I would really like the governor and the legislature to put a plan like that together this week.
I hope so too. That's a great idea, Tim, for a recovery task force. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate your time. We're all pulling for small businesses, and I know you are too, because that's what you do. You're here to help. I know that people can visit vertzmarketing.com for all the details, as well as get some answers to questions from your experts. As you mentioned, we're all in this together, so call today, 262-910-4125. They'll take a look at your business and advise you. They have offices in Mequon and Third Ward. You can always chat over the phone too. Thanks again so much, Tim.
All right, thank you, Molly.